Jazz is gonna kill me. It's gonna be a mountain.
Yeah, we can sample it. If we can get it, that's what we want. Good. Get that out in there too. Firing order. Okay, this is a distributor and it runs in a circle, right? And it distributes the spark. That's why they call it a distributor. Okay, and I can get that open. So see, this is rotating as the engine runs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going by all these contacts. It takes the spark from the center and distributes it to each of these plug wires in turn. The firing order here is 1, 3, 4, 2. So that means 1 is right here. Next to it would be 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 4, and then 2. 1, 3, 4, 2. All right?
Very nice. So,
Now, in 1971 or so, when I first started out mechanics, a lot of cars were 6 cylinders, and an old mechanic told me, well, what's the firing order on a 6 cylinder? And I said, well, I don't know. And he said, okay, it's 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. I said, okay, well, I'll never remember that. He said, yes, I'll teach you how to remember it. 15's too young, 36 is too old, 24 is just right.
Get it?
Yeah, 1, 5, 3, 6.
Yeah. That's a good way to remember it.
Okay.
All right. Do you understand how firing order works?
I do.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to disassemble a BMC 1.2.
Yeah. And we're hoping that this is the good engine, because Chaz off camera did disassemble the other engine, and there's some good parts in it, but there's
Yeah, there's some good stuff, but
it's going to be a parts engine, so we're hoping this is the engine that's going to go in that.
and we're
car right
hopeful
there.
also because this had oil in it and was probably a running car when the starter motor broke off.
Yes, the bracket that holds the starter motor was cracked off, and that's probably
Why they parked it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
We hope.
That'll do it.
All right. Most of the accessories are off on this side. The intake and exhaust manifolds, they're off already. So we'll.
Are we gonna color match that fan?
Now that's interesting. Only 3 bolts in the fan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who knows why that is?
Are we gonna paint that fan red?
Well, probably not. We'll probably make it into bright yellow plastic. I'm
Just
guessing.
bring it back to life.
Make it look like that.
Yeah, that looks brand new in there.
Green like that. That's the color right there. The original color.
Yep, and you already have that.
And that's what we're going to have. I think it's really cool. It's sort of military with metallic in it.
Yeah.
All right. Here's.
That just came off.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Now let's see about getting some more stuff off. Jacob, why don't you grab a 7/16 and get that one off?
What, this thing?
7/16.
Yeah.
Oh, that was easy.
What was this here? This goes in the box?
Yeah.
Everything goes in the box.
Everything in the box. Here's a little tip for all you new mechanics. Anytime you start a project, look ahead at how big the parts are going to be and get a box that size before you start. Here, get a 7/8, something like that going on this.
So we got our bin. Everything that goes or comes off this engine is going in there. And then
People think that you need to mark bolts to see how they go back. You don't, but you need to separate each job from every other job.
bigger.
Yeah.
15/16, I guess. You just need to have everything. It's not that hard to put it back on. That's actually the easy part of this mechanic thing.
Hit it.
Okay. Now hold on. The moral of the story is, don't use force. Get a bigger hammer.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Jacob, I want a brass hammer for Christmas, okay?
I can hook you up.
Yeah.
You may be asking yourself, why would Chaz let him hit his wrenches with a hammer? And the answer is, it's a brass hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we do it. Doesn't wreck anything.
If it's in this guy's hands, maybe.
Is that probably
Yeah.
loose? There we go.
Just
Now this is the oil filter thing, which means this is full of oil, so I'm just gonna put it down here and
yeah.
let it.
Now are we gonna go with that filter, or you want to convert it to a?
Well, I
twist-on?
would like to get I was on the internet, it looks like for 74 they went to the spin-on.
Yeah.
I'd like to find one
Okay.
myself.
All right.
And it'll be kind of fun to look at it and say, wow, it took every tool we have.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two of them, one on each side. There that I just demonstrated. I couldn't explain it because the compressor was running.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm taking this bolt off, right? And I don't have the exactly right socket. I got one that's loose. Okay? Because it's loose, the impact won't do it. It won't quite get it. So what did I do? That made it get it. I held this tight against so that now the impact thinks I have the right socket. It's not, there's no play. Held tension, and boom, it came apart.
That's a good trick.
It is. Because you never have all the right stuff when you're working on old antique junk like this.
Especially big sockets. Who uses those? You know?
Well, also, the world is metric now.
What size was that?
34 millimeter.
34.
Real common. But this is 50 years old. This is some kind of 1 1/16 or what would 34 be? Something 1 1/8.
Yeah, inch and an eighth.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I just don't have it. Now the trick. Hold that.
More life hacks.
Watch this. Put it on one thread. Oh, didn't quite get it. Put it on one thread. What's going on? Is it in there? Yeah, it's in there.
Put it on one thread.
Put it on 2 threads. And then you can get it out. So now when you get good at this, you'll learn to stop when it's like that.
Yes.
Exactly. Nope.
Too much.
Not enough.
That one.
Oh, I noticed we're not using WD-40.
You're right.
Where's that little can? I bought you a little can so you can always have it on you.
Go ahead and
Perfect.
that was perfect. Okay. Now, what tool do we use to get that loose?
The pickle.
A hammer.
Oh.
A brass hammer, exactly. That's what we always use. That and this.
A hammer.
Now we are using.
Show off your little can of WD-40. The smallest can in the world.
Actually, what I recommend is go to Lowe's, get you one of these, and buy it by the gallon.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, don't think you can use some other spray bottle, it won't work. WD-40 will defeat any spray bottle on earth, except these magic ones.
Huh.
I don't know why.
That's weird.
That's been my experience. I've tried Windex, you know, every old,
Yeah.
they won't work. But this, somehow these have got some kind of rubber that will seal WD-40.
Did they even make those bottles anymore?
I don't know. That's why I have two. I hoard them. Keep an eye out for them. If they don't make them, get on the internet. I bet you can find them.
Yeah.
We got a handy knob here to pound on this. I would not be doing this if this was an aluminum one, but it isn't. It's cast iron.
That thing is welded. Man.
Illustrating how to get it off is part of
There's
this.
mice poop right there. All the way from Colorado.
Coming up parallel, of course, is real important.
Teamwork.
That's what we just did.
Yeah. Were you running a thermostat or no?
Oh yeah, always run a thermostat in line. The only alternative is to put a blanking plate in there, which is just a plate with a specific size hole.
Yeah.
You gotta have the right size hole. A 350 Chevrolet uses a 3/4 inch, actually about a 13/16 hole. I know that one from racing. On this little thing, I don't know, probably be a 1/4 inch hole. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta have something. If you have nothing like this, it'll make the engine run hot. Believe it or not. It will make the engine run hot. I could explain to you why, but that's too much for right now.
Just leave it.
You know the Vega doesn't have a thermostat in it?
It'll make it run hot.
Probably.
Better get a thermostat.
I bought one.
I mean, the principle is very simple. Water moves because there's a pressure differential between two areas, right?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta have a barrier between this area and this area. If you have no barrier,
It just flows.
it just sits because there's no incentive for a difference between the radiator and the engine.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it will totally sit, but you see, this is not an oil pump. An oil pump's positive displacement. This is a water pump, which is not positive displacement. It's just an impeller, and so it can cavitate like a boat does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, spin and stand still. It can do that. Oil pump cannot. If an oil pump turns, it moves oil, no matter what you do.
Is this gonna require a pooler?
It's always, yes, we're gonna be pulling. In fact, Jacob, you could be working on that. You could tap these threads out, they're 5/16. See right there, and right there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
The tap guy. Nice. You cut onto the hose.
That's the way it goes.
Burnt rubber.
I wasn't gonna
Smells like
reuse
you did
it.
a burnout.
I don't intend to reuse it anyway. Wreck anything. So we'll use this.
Need a chisel.
All right. That may be enough to get things moving.
There's still water in there.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I try it? If it's coolant?
You got that?
I don't think it leaks, so it's a good pump. Okay, we got those threaded out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess it was stuck on these studs. I guess it was stuck on the studs.
Yeah, on those pins.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Now you see why I had them tap those out so we could use them.
Mm-hmm.
For threading this in. You want to shine it in there so I can see where that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see now. There we go.
You know what's funny about taking engines apart is the coolant never stops dripping.
I know.
Ever.
Like the shower.
Yeah.
Right away. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Hey, I like the looks of this already.
Yeah. It looks, well,
It's not great, but it's better than the other one was.
is it?
Yeah.
That's not awesome though.
No, it's not awesome. Now what I wanted to do was, next I want to pull the valve cover, get this off, get a 5/8 wrench going or something, you know. There's that part.
Right here.
There it is. Okay. What I want to do, see now I probably have something for that because the wrenches I got. I think this one will go that big.
Adjustable for the wind. Oh, it is keyed. That's why I was curious.
Yeah. That's why it has to be pulled off. Now you see, oh,
That's fine. It'll pull off.
see here we got dot and dot
It's timed.
lined up.
Yeah. That's slag though. So Chaz was telling me
So
that
you
there's no
see-
tensioner on this chain. Look at that.
Now,
Wow.
the good news is, on eBay you can buy these chains for $15,
Just the chain.
just the chain.
You don't think this was already slapping against the cover and making noise?
Doesn't look like it.
It's close.
It's close.
Very close.
Yeah.
You gotta show the trick how to.
To me, it's lousy. Obviously, we'll get a new chain.
Yeah, we have to. We're not gonna save $15 on the chain. And
No, that's,
kill an engine.
that's an obvious part.
I'm over here trying to buy $700 seats, you know.
The only way you wouldn't is if maybe,
With this one?
okay, now, we got this off yet?
I got this.
She's got it undone, but needs to pry it.
We don't have it off yet. Hold on. Brass hammer first. Let's see if we can just.
told you we didn't need this.
I would have used that, but oh, this clamp is in the way. Oh, but it's adjustable.
Yeah, I see that. It's very cute.
It's very adjustable.
Okay, now there's two. On any normal engine, when these two dots are together, we're at the top of number one,
Dead center.
about to fire, or having just fired it. You know, we're at
Yeah.
power, at the top of the power stroke,
Yeah.
of the top of the compression stroke, excuse me. However, on a Sunbeam Alpine, we're at the top of the other, we're at the other one. I put a whole engine together, and it was wrong.
Oh man.
So the distributor was in halfway around,
Yeah.
and then I figured out why the last guy had put the plug wires on wrong. He put them on backwards because he'd made the same mistake.
Oh, I see.
But I couldn't have that. I took the whole engine apart and made it right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we don't know that about this British craziness. So we have to prove it. We have to decide one way or another. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the engine over, and we're going to watch what the valves do. We're interested in number one here. Okay? Now, I've just gone past top dead center, right? So I'm going down.
Yeah.
Okay? Is the intake valve... Oh, excuse me. This is the intake valve over here. If it pops open, it's just now closing. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Do I understand this?
And then you gotta do a full rotation.
See, this... Oh, no. Okay. We're opening the intake valve. So in other words, this is backwards like a sunbeam. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If these were both closed, we'd be firing now on power stroke, but we're not. We're on intake stroke. We're
Yeah.
coming down on intake. And I just came off the dots.
Yeah.
It's backwards. The dots come together when we're firing 4.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we just learned. But we'll go ahead and run it around and further illustrate what's going on here. See, watch this. We're going down now on this and sucking in fuel, right? Now we're to the bottom. We've closed it. We're compressing. It's closed. We're coming up to compression. Somewhere in here. And see, this is over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now we're going to fire number one and head back down again on power. And we get to the bottom
Yeah.
and we start back up again, the exhaust valve opens. And when we get done with our exhaust stroke, there's our dots.
Yeah.
Now, so there you have it. It's set up backwards, or the way what an American would view as being strange.
It's very strange.
It is strange. Now, look at this. Look, imagine the center line between here, right? Let me get this right on that center line.
Yeah.
About there.
Mm-hmm.
Look where we are here.
Yeah.
It's running that late
Yeah.
because of this lousy chain.
Yeah. That's wild. There's no tension or anything.
Well, all that does, of course, is hold this in. It doesn't change this being stretched out
Yeah.
and making the cam run late.
Yeah.
And actually, it wasn't as bad as I said. See, look at that. It's actually pretty close.
Yeah. True. Yep.
Okay, don't listen to old Chaz. He lies. Okay, but in any case, of course, we'll get him in.
Yeah.
Okay.
New chain. Make a list. Alternator, chain,
Can you go get my phone?
timing. There it goes. There it goes.
Okay. You're watching from the side for me to tell me when I got to get back on the crank.
All right.
Probably soon, huh?
Yeah, you can do it now actually.
Okay. Still got to come off. In there with that amount of force.
It's loose.
Good job. See, it doesn't look that horrible.
Yeah, that's good. Get a new one.
Okay. This piece holds the cam in. Is what that does. Holds the cam from moving this way.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have released this. This is the motor mounts go on this thing.
That's
Instead of bolting in the side of an engine like on a bigger engine or
Yeah.
American or whatever, we got this plate. Just like we had the plate on the back of the starter motor.
that broke, yeah.
Same deal. Kind of
Whoa, you don't want to throw those.
careful.
Yeah, we might use them still.
I don't really like this. Oh, that's right. There's another feature here.
Yeah, spark plugs are fragile.
My bad. Chaz always stores everything, so
Yeah, except spark plugs.
thought I'd try it.
Chaz would never
Who
throw
knows?
stuff.
You might be working on a good set there. So
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah. maybe- See, there's a couple of Allen bolts here that a guy would definitely could easily forget.
Yeah, body
Or
filler.
not
all over.
notice.
Yeah.
It's like the last engine. They're not very tight. I don't know.
Take this. Look at this spark plug, Chaz.
There's those.
Yeah.
Now,
Does that look like it had moisture in there?
oh wow, look at that. We're going to end up with a rusty bore, I bet. Which one was it, 2?
2, yeah. Number 1 was
Not so bad, huh?
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like so funny looking. It's like tiny. And these are adjustable, I see.
Yes. Here's an interesting feature. You notice that we're going to take this rocker arm assembly off next. Okay? And what is interesting here, just somewhat unusual. Look at that. 2 different sizes.
Why?
Why? That's a good question. That's always a question you want to ask in mechanics. Because if you don't see why, you're about to wreck something. And the answer is, here's the head bolts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's got to be 2 sets, right?
Yes.
Where's the other set?
Right here.
Yeah.
That makes
Is
sense.
that a crummy setup?
Yes.
How you get accurate torque? But anyway. And they might be right, I don't know. I've never tried it. I just do it whatever's in front of me.
Chaz makes his own rules.
But I do put them back together. I put everything together very carefully. I overdo that.
I don't really think it matters the way.
Screwdriver on a hose clamp unless you absolutely have to. In this case, we don't have to.
That's not a original clamp. has a date on it or something.
This particular hose clamp here is not used anywhere on a British car. It's not, and being as that's all I work on, it's trash.
Yeah.
American, like my Chevy truck uses something like this on the heater hoses.
Yeah. That's not good because it eats into the hose and then they leak.
And it's not round enough. It's got that flat spot.
And also you want the clamp to expand and stuff. And
You know, it's the smaller one, the small series.
yeah.
Those are good. These I throw away typically, but anyway.
I could tell you it was already leaking with all this around it.
Well, it does look that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It may be that we'll end up not using this
Yeah.
corniness, which means we'll get some kind of inline cable operated something.
Solid. Yeah, this is trash.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Unless you can tighten it from the
I mean,
bottom.
why do I want this anyway?
That's ugly. This belongs on the sink. you
My
know?
problem is too having this bloat next to my valve cover, and in the way of my head bolt. No.
No.
I'm sorry, old timers, but your old stuff's kind of junk.
All good
It's
stuff,
fun to
yeah.
drive. I love working on it, but compared to this new stuff, you know, I go up on the parkway with my son Pete, and I go up there and hustle, you know, the young boys with their Subarus with the 5-wheel drive or whatever they have.
5-wheel drive.
Yeah. And
The spare is active as well.
boys are fast. You know, the only way to shake them is to just charge a turn so fast it scares them. But once you're through the turn, they pull you on the straight like you're standing still.
Yeah. What's better, bolts or studs? What's better, bolts or studs?
Oh, studs are always better. Anytime. The bolt head has got that friction on here. You say, well, the nut does too. That's right. But the bolt is running all the way down into those threads, and this is on threads right here. Okay. So why do I say studs are always better?
There's threads on
I don't
both
know,
ends.
I'm old school, I guess. Now the other thing about hardware in general, that's one of the things that has been improved and improved and improved.
Yeah.
The flanged bolt. You asked me about flanged bolts.
Yeah.
You said, when did those get invented? My answer was, I think the 80s. I'm not
Probably.
sure. But they didn't have them here. They
No.
didn't have them.
Definitely not. This whole car doesn't have a flange
No,
bolt.
there's not a flange bolt in it. It didn't have them.
Washers all day.
We didn't. We thought they were wonderful when they came out. We said, well, look, what an improvement that is. They had the disadvantage you couldn't go buy them. You had to get them from the manufacturer.
You couldn't just go to Piston and pick some up?
Well, now you can. Yeah. That's exactly. When they came out, it wasn't like that. You know, this is something special. This is extremely clean looking, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I mean, look at that. What if
Very
this?
nice.
This is what you always hope for: is that somebody rebuilt this
There's that
just
mark.
before
Yeah,
they parked it.
yeah.
That's what you're
So
hoping.
far it's looking that way.
Well, so far I'm liking.
Except that, like I think water's.
But that's water.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the little toy push rods
Don't break those.
that go in
Easy.
these. People, do me a favor. If you decide to race one of these, get some better push rods. Of course, why would you race one of these when you can get a 5-wheel drive Subaru, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Subarus are popular in this area.
Things are fast. I'll give you that. You got-
Look at that engine number. Remember, always use a brass hammer. It's moving.
Looks like we're getting it. Okay, hold your breath, folks.
Chaz is not gonna be happy.
No, I'm not happy. Nuts.
He's not happy. And this
But it
is
had
a,
compression.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna have to work, so there's that. Right?
This one had more compression than the other one did.
Yeah. This one was also stuck. We had to break it loose.
That was this probably, and it's
Yeah.
not terrible.
Because, well, this is the spark plug that was rusted. Also, number 2.
Yeah, number 2. So
Okay, so.
And this one was bad. wasn't it?
now,
Well,
did the
Spark
head
plug.
gaskets come off with it, or is this
I
the
think
head
it's
gasket?
still on here.
Yeah, that's the head gasket.
Yeah, well, that's on the outside. Doesn't matter.
Let's get that off. Okay, there you
It's
go.
gonna be easier to turn.
Now this is no, don't hold on.
Pull like a grenade and send it.
It's heavy. Get out on the end of it. Let me handle this. Okay. Move it so that this is free up.
Like,
Come on.
Whoop.
Push it. There you go. Now, let it rotate around.
He works out, so he got this.
it's like pulling me along with it.
Yeah. That means you gotta work out somewhere. Good thing you're wearing proper shoes.
Now you see why I left the water filter.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 minute.
Coolant never stops leaking. Ever.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm glad they had coolant in there and not water. It's a huge oil pan.
This is the good oil pan. The other one's all dented.
Yeah. Are we gonna paint the oil pan? And
Oh yeah, of course.
same color as the valve cover?
It'll be assembled this much plus the head on, and then we'll paint that assembly green.
Sweet.
You want me to show you another one?
Yep. One more.
You hold that and spin it.
Yep. Washer. There's a washer in there too.
By the time you get done, you'll be fast as me.
I doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe not quite. When this car was built, the man hours that were invested in would scare you to death. But at the time, it was amazing how efficient the factory was compared to what was before. That car there probably has about twice the man hours in it that this Midget does. And it's
Yeah.
only 3 years older. But
Which one? So, how much was this one brand new back then?
2,600, I think,
2,600?
in 67.
And this one?
I don't know, 295.
So, for $4,000 back in the day, you could buy 2 of these.
No, the Midget was of course was a price offering. It's a 1.3. It was
It
1.3.
was affordable, right? Now, what was the minimum wage back then?
I don't really know. I know when I graduated from high school in 1970, minimum wage was $1.60.
$1.60.
Yeah,
My first job was $5.25 an hour.
yeah. My first job, I went out to a dealership and told them I was a mechanic when I was 18, and they paid me $2.50. I thought I was rich.
Now Chick-fil-A does like 17 to 20.
19 they're offering. But you know, a cheeseburger was 25 cents, right, or less.
The first gallon of gas that I bought for myself, you know, obviously bought it with my dad before that stuff. But the first one I bought myself and put in a car was 25 cents. And that was the last 25-cent gallon of gas that was sold.
Wow.
The next day it was 26 cents. Never looked back.
That's crazy.
No, I participated in history there. I bought the last gallon of gas for 25 cents.
Should have bought all of it.
At least in my
You should have
town.
bought all of it back then.
Not very impressive, huh?
No.
You did get them all, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sounds mighty solid.
I think it was changing. The sound was changing, so.
There you go.
That sound changing. Something else is holding it. What the heck is that? It's just a nut stuck to the block right there. It's been there for 30 years. Three, two, one.
Look at that. Sweet. If we didn't have bore wear, this would be an absolutely great engine. The lobes are looking pretty good on the cam.
Yeah.
Now see that cam, we just undid the timing with the crankshaft, the connection between these two, right?
Uh-huh.
But this cam is still timed with this thing, which is a distributor,
Yeah.
and it's still running the oil pump back here.
Well,
So theoretically, we can leave all that
if we're using this engine,
if we're using this engine,
which we are.
which
I
we
think.
are, which I think we are. But let's go ahead and find out.
You think this is the original gasket?
Yes,
So it's never been apart, which is good.
I don't think so. You know, there's two schools of thought on that. I'm in the school of where I hope it's been apart. I hope somebody spent a bunch of money and rebuilt it.
Well, you don't want somebody
And drove
taking
it for an
apart.
hour and wrecked it and
Yeah.
and put it in the garage.
But then there's also, it's been apart, but apart by someone that doesn't know what they're doing.
Well, there's that. But I can take it apart and put all those new parts back together correctly.
Yeah, okay.
I don't run anything without taking it apart. No, I would never recommend that.
Wreck it.
That's what I like about you, Jake. You learn. You tell a kid something, he remembers it. It's excellent.
Sometimes.
He remembers what he wants to remember.
Yeah, well, that's part of being 14. I understand that. I'm still that way. And I know you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is the screen where the oil gets picked up.
Which is nice and clean.
Nice and clean. You know,
Someone did
there's
good
no
oils.
there's no metal wandering around inside this motor.
Yeah.
I like it.
It looks like someone kept up with the oil changes probably.
Yes, it does. Which figures it was my cousin. He would do that. He's my cousin.
It runs in the family.
Very good.
All right. Now, what we're going to do is take apart. You'll notice how 1 and 4 go up together,
Uh-huh.
and then 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Which is why the firing order has to be one of this kind and one of this kind, and then one of that kind,
Yeah.
and then one of this.
Makes sense.
It has to be, it wouldn't be balanceable.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Love it. They
Absolutely
look brand
beautiful.
new.
It looks, who knows? Maybe this isn't an original gasket.
Maybe.
But I mean, look at that.
That's brand new. It's like
So the secret is if it's all gray. You see a little bit of copper right there on that edge?
Yeah.
That's where it's worn through this babbit on the surface. But by and large, and you see there was almost no grit coming out.
Yeah.
See that hole? That lubricates this.
Yeah. Oil pressure.
The oil pressure is inside this crank and it's coming out right there. And that lubricates this, so that's why you get this pattern of, see, any debris that comes through is in the center.
Yeah.
Where it's introduced from that.
Yeah.
So you get scratching right in the center. But look at that, how good that is.
They all look like that.
They all look like this.
Chaz is happy.
Then the crank's a home run, and we'll kind of just clean it. Well, I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's find out more about what we got. Okay. The brass hammer's brother, the brass drift.
I didn't know Brass Hammer had a brother, but there he is. That's the one that was arrested, right?
Yes, I went ahead and decided to pay my dues and get through the hard one.
Very good.
I'm glad you sprayed a bunch of WD down it before we turned it over. That was thoughtful.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Okay, so Chaz got these little cans now.
Can you reach under there?
This should go in your pocket right there.
See if you can, yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, see what you can do.
In WD-40.
Let me try it from the top here on the, yeah, like that. Probably
This is for emergencies only. The whole 3 ounces just went.
Is WD a miracle or what, folks?
It was magic.
Run out and buy WD and then write to the company and tell them to sponsor this video.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a boy.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's why it was seized up.
This is the bad one.
Yeah.
The chances of saving this piston are extremely low, and the chances of getting that ring.
This is why Chaz takes his engines apart, because this would run like garbage.
Getting to a, I mean, if I was desperate to save this ring set, which I don't know if I will end up being or not, I would put WD on this right now and don't even touch it. Don't even touch it for at least a day. Because getting a stuck ring like that out without wrecking it, very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very difficult. This halfway stuck one, this one, I could probably get that without breaking it. This one, I don't know. You always put this back together.
Just like it should be.
There's notches on these. Remember we talked about a spun bearing.
Yep.
Same deal. Put that back in there like that. Notches to notches. Just like that. There we go. And the last thing is we inspect. Look at that. It's properly labeled 2 to 2. 2 and 2. Now we didn't notice, but we're going to check again. I believe these numbers are toward the camshaft, but we're going to.
They were towards me, whatever. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Because I said there's 3 and 3.
Okay. That's another part of. Don't try to find it in the manual. Look at it before you take it.
Yeah.
The other thing is, don't make time disassembling stuff. Be patient. Take your time. and learn something, study it, so you come out able to reassemble it.
Well, that's for people that have patience, though.
Well,
That's not.
building engines is not for people.
Would you rather build engines or do body work?
No, neither.
late.
I like
Neither.
building engines, but I'll be honest with you, I worked for a little while in an engine shop, and doing it continuously all day long was too much for me. All the people I know, they're old like me.
It's another boy.
Which means, yeah, Dave will do it for me, but it might be 2 months, 6 months, who knows? He's
We
old.
don't have that kind of time. We
he
have
does-
patience, but not that much patience.
Well, that's the thing. He's old. He says, I don't really care about that. I got corporate people that are paying me big money to
What
do
if he
this,
just
that,
let
and the
us
other.
use his tools? Can you run his tools?
I'm not going to get involved with running somebody's boring bar.
I think that would be fun. It'd be a good video for sure.
It's oh, there you go. We got to convince Dave somehow that he would benefit greatly by being a video star,
That's easy.
like me.
That's easy.
Say, Dave, my life is changed completely.
I'm a new man.
Look at young people hang around me. It's great. Dave would
Right.
probably say, Charles, I don't care about none of that. Okay. See how
Uh-huh. Yeah.
see how good these are?
Yeah.
Nice and springy.
It's a good example of a good piston.
See, that's all free, that oil ring. We could clean that all up and it'd be good stuff. Now, you know, it's interesting that you mentioned that. I assume these are standard size bearings, but we need to look and see. Yeah, see, that's a part number. And that's a part number. You don't see an 010 or an 020.
So they're original.
Yeah.
I wonder how many miles this thing had.
Now see, that took one little piece of grit through it. See how?
Yeah. Number 4.
I did it again. See, it's looking very good.
Flawless.
Yeah, it's looking very good.
Well, usually the rod bearings get damaged first.
Yes, rod bearings have the hardest life.
Yeah.
Now you notice I'm not paying any attention to this because it can only go together one way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This can't go around there. Nothing. See, that's got that.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of features on main bearings, so you don't really have to worry about them.
Good.
They just
Ooh. What's that?
Babbitt. Slight wear. Nothing.
Nothing crazy.
Well, it kind of has that gray look, like when there's some water.
Yeah.
That may be what that's about. See, we got some right here.
Yeah.
See that?
Yep. That's
Maybe,
okay.
maybe we got a little bit of water in it somehow. But we'll definitely be taking the oil pump off and examining things at a minimum.
Right.
Okay. crankshaft weighs about as much as a camshaft in an American car. See, there's another pair of these.
Are they both the same size, thickness wise?
Yeah, both sides are the same. They come in an oversized typically if you have to redo this surface.
Yeah.
Maybe not on this junk, but on, you know, if you're working on some kind of 426 Hemi. Oh, see,
It's
that's
got somewhere
pretty
too.
round. See, the intake ones are sharper, and then it's rounded. Now, is it possible that the grind profile is different in intake and exhaust,
Maybe.
and it's not a wear pattern?
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that's right. We left these behind, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Hold on a second.
Go back some.
No, you can go ahead.
I can just go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. If that one falls out, it does. I just need to put these in the right way. This is the front.
What?
Three-inch bores are a lot easier to work on. Get your hand in there.
Yeah. What size is this?
2-inch, I think.
It's a 2-inch?
No, that isn't 2 inches. No, I mean 4-inch bores. A Chevy, a V8 is 4-inch bores. Or else I'm forgetting. Who knows? Let's not speculate. Let's find out. Two and 3/4.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Put a little in. Here's we know that's the original bore, right? Which is 2,750, 2 3/4. It's almost always the case that the original is a round number and then it's -10, -20 from a round number.
Yeah. Do I start at the top or bottom? Does it matter?
You got to look in there and see where your bottom is.
Okay. And just start
And
at the
then come
bottom?
all the way to the, it doesn't matter where you start, but you
Okay.
gotta, your stroke has to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, here we go.
All the way. That was too low and too high both.
Yeah. You get that? This is my first time in doing this,
Yeah, I
ever.
know.
Too low. About to mess up this whole block. Chaz made it look easy.
Now the other thing is, hold on a second. When you get to the top, kind of
Hold it there.
just a bit, yeah, because we're trying to
We're trying to
catch
hit
up,
that.
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
You made it look easy. It's not.
No, it isn't. None of this stuff is. Now, here's one other hint. How fast you rotate is a function of how fast you need to go up and down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't. My arm doesn't read the RPM.
Because you see, you want,
Should I go full speed?
well, no, if you do, then you're gonna have to go like this, see, because you don't want round marks. You
Yeah.
want them at an angle
Okay.
so that they don't
So what am I doing wrong? Am I going up and down too
No,
fast?
you're good, but I'm just giving you this issue to bear
Okay.
in mind. You're matching your vertical movement with your rotational speed, so that you end up with something like this.
Uh-huh. I
Yeah.
got you. All right,
Yeah.
let's go. Jazz is gonna kill me.
How do you feel about your?
Just still a little thing, but like over here, it's nothing. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
How's that?
I don't know. Maybe the explosions you cause.
Cut that out.
Well, okay. Who's doing number 3?
Jacob?
You?
He's done this once or twice,
Probably.
or a million times. That's the stud puller 4000. Yeah,
See, I'll show you how this
definitely different thread.
interesting feature. See, this is labeled on there. Says 5/16 and 3/8. I've also got another one. What you do is you pop this out like that, and then this comes out, and you can put in
Oh,
one that's cut out more for bigger size.
wow. Flawless.
Pretty cool, huh?
I guess that's what a good block looks like, huh?
Doesn't take that long.
Yeah, that was fun. So basically this whole engine came apart and that was probably about an hour, maybe less. So the plan is, Chaz is saying we're going to use this block and the crank and I don't know about piston number 2, right? We're not sure about that, what we're going to do. We need new rings. So we'll get
Yeah,
those.
if we can get this piston apart, I suppose we'll use it. If I can get the rings out of it without being wrecked,
Yeah.
which I think I can. As
Yeah.
long as I can destroy the rings, it's not as hard to take it apart.
Yeah.
But it's rusted in there pretty good. It's this one, right?
No,
No,
this one.
that one. See, you can't tell there's a top ring there.
Yeah. It became one with a piston.
Kind of deluxe 4 rings, that's kind of nice. A
Yeah.
lot of times there's only 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's how the engine comes apart on a MG Midget. So stay tuned, this thing will run soon. Right? This thing's gonna go off to paint soon, and then while that's at paint, this is getting reassembled. So we need a couple things. We need a timing kit,
An alternator.
A timing chain,
timing chain. What about the sprockets?
a set of rings,
Set of rings.
but we gotta decide on the rings. We gotta hold off until I decide what I'm gonna do for rings.
Okay.
Whether we want standards or 10-overs. I'm gonna have to measure this accurately and probably ask Dave what he recommends. He's got a little end grinder thing, 4 rings. It's a little wheel that turn,
Yeah.
you hold the ring against it.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll probably say, well, let's get you some 10s and fit them. Because then it won't be junk at all. It'll be perfect, yeah. If we just put standards in, the gain gap's going to be a little more than what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. We don't want that.
We don't really want that.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned for more videos. Like and subscribe. And later.